Well, hello again, particularly those of living faith. I've got something to confess. I am tired of this. Call me impatient, call me a spoiled American, whatever. We're just a few weeks into physical restrictions, and I am already tired of this. I miss gathering a couple of times each week with fellow disciples. I miss gathering randomly with our adult children. I miss gathering with friends at coffee shops and restaurants, and I'm not even an extrovert. I'm tired of news being COVID all the time. I'm tired of promotions for shows that I'm supposed to be binge watching. I'm tired of the uncertainty over when things will return to normal. Let's face it, I'm tired of my kitchen, I'm tired of my living room, and I'm tired of recording in this room. I am just tired of this. I'm thinking you can relate. Where is Jesus in all of this? Can Jesus help me at this time? As you might expect, I have scripture to share. Matthew chapter 11, beginning of verse 28, Jesus said, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I'm humble and gentle at heart. You will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." In just these few sentences, we notice, first of all, Jesus' invitation, "Come to me." And it's addressed to all who are weary and carry heavy burdens. His promised response is, "I will give you rest." Jesus further instructs all on how to receive his offer. He says, "Take my yoke and let me teach you." And then he presents his motivating credentials. "I am humble and gentle." And that's the focus of this segment. Beneath the surface, Jesus is humble and gentle at heart. Now, these attributes validate his ability to provide rest for our souls. Jesus is humble. He's not arrogant. He isn't pompous or uppity. He's never hoity-toity, as my wife might explain. Jesus doesn't have feelings of or display any superiority or showiness. Jesus isn't a self-promoter. Jesus is down to earth, modest, unpretentious. He's also gentle, not harsh, abrasive, rough, or severe. Jesus is mild and moderate. He's kind and tender. And because of these qualities, when Jesus engages any life, he never forces entry. He doesn't bust down doors into anyone's heart. Jesus is not a brute or a bully. He's never strong-arming anyone to receive everything that he has to offer. Rather, Jesus is humble and gentle at heart. Humility, gentleness. What do these look like to you? What evidence do you expect from those who are truly humble and gentle? What are their words? What are their actions? Maybe this will solidify the concept for us. When it comes to humility and gentleness, who comes to your mind? For me, these qualities, I remember my grandfather, William Bess. In every memorable interaction, my grandfather was welcoming and approachable. For little ones, he knew how to get himself to their level and readily lifted them to himself. For me and dozens of our extended family, he displayed an amazing interest in us. He loved to laugh, and he welcomed others to join in his joy. In my lifetime, Grandpa Bess completely embodied humility and gentleness. Yet, he was not a weak or unsuccessful man. Rather, he was considered by most a man's man. He retired from a tire factory. He maintained a side business painting houses. He could fix almost anything, and his garage was filled with often used tools. He was quite a hunter and successfully did so into its 8th decade. You see, humility and gentleness don't eliminate authority and power. Those who are humble and gentle simply don't need to declare or illustrate their power and authority to prove that they have it. While unafraid to use these, the humble and gentle have no need to flaunt them. Jesus is humble and gentle, while he's also divine and miraculous. And so the same Jesus who stood on a boat's bow and calmed a raging storm with mere words also reached to children and invited them close. The same Jesus who healed lepers is the same one who knelt down and forgave an adulterous woman who was facing a brutal death. While divine and miraculous, Jesus is humble and gentle. And he says he's these things at heart. These aren't qualities that Jesus adapts or presents only when necessary. Humility and gentleness aren't tools that Jesus uses in his professional life, but aren't part of his home life. Instead, humility and gentleness are at the very core of who Jesus is. They're intertwined in his nature. They're fundamental to all of his interactions. In his character and his inmost being, Jesus is humble and gentle. Now, knowing this about Jesus, what does it mean for you and I? Because of this, what opportunities are available to us? I invite you to reread Matthew 11 multiple times in the coming days. I invite you to meditate on the passage and invite Jesus to inspire you in these words. And in the coming sessions, we're going to consider Jesus' yoke, his teaching, and his rest. Until then, live faithfully.